Welcome back to Calling the Audible. It is now time for Division 5A and 5B.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
Simone, Eagle, Peeze, GM using
Hi.
the foam roller. Yes. I like to have put the mic next to GM as he's doing the foam roller. He's like, oh, yeah. Like Vince McMahon style.
No one wants that.
That's a lot of foam.
What's going on?
It's a big foam.
Very impressed.
I'm very confused. I've been confused all day.
You saw
today.
GM's foam?
Yeah, yeah.
You?
Foam. It's good. You're off air for that.
Absolutely is. He definitely is prepared for that. Let's talk about the week that was in 5A and 5B.
Yes, sir.
A lot going on, a lot of action going on here in 5A in particular.
Ghost.
Games that caught your attention. Ghost, Hot Boys Hotline.
Ghost
Simone
destroyed
Dagenet.
Hot Boys Hotline.
And your thoughts?
I saw that one
Well,
come
my
in.
thoughts are right there. I did destroy the Hot Boys Hotline.
Didn't we pick this game last week?
Probably.
And weren't we all saying this would happen?
Once again, the same referee crew that Hot Boys had when they lost their other game.
Oh,
and
the
said
conspiracy.
they couldn't
Okay,
get-
okay.
Did
Oh,
the same
boy.
thing
Okay.
again.
So I was there for the game,
Me too.
and yeah, thank you, Jim. And no,
actually.
Mokan was not there because
I was there
Mokan.
afterwards.
But so there was some calls. I'll be honest. There was some calls that are questionable. So you catch the ball, the guy grabs your flags as you catch the ball. You start running. There's no whistle. You pull to deck because the flags are on the ground, and then they complain that the tackle was done prior to the pass, or whatever. And
So
then
that happens like 3 times a night? Awesome.
Yeah.
but it's
Cool.
also
Next.
like a split second thing, right?
Yeah. It's a judgment call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
we made a judgment. What's
but
next?
the judgment was that it was done that way. So the following play, when it happened on the flip side, and it was towards Hot Boys Hotline, when they got the call the same way, they complained. But now you're complaining that you get it, and you're complaining you're not getting it. Make up your mind.
Yeah.
They're making the same call, just one time's against you, one time's for you, and you're complaining both times. So basically, you're contradicting yourself. You're being Mokan.
Yeah. So
Hot Boys
all-
Hotline,
they're not saying-
Mokan,
they're
same
not-
person.
they're not
I'm sorry.
They're not saying call the game consistently. They're saying call the game for us.
Basically.
Yeah,
Cool.
So a few observations from this. Number one is that like some of the responsibility has to be on HBH's side, but a few other observations. Number one, credit where credit is due. On like a 3rd and 10 or something like that, like Logan Boyce made like a ridiculous one-handed catch,
Yes.
on, like an underthrown ball when he was running an out and it was on his. He just like scooped it like this and kept running.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw Edward Valme. First of all, he didn't even enter the huddle for most of the offensive plays. He's lined up on the line, burns by his defender, is like all alone on the streak down the left sidelines. Tom Gatehouse makes his read right, and by the time Tom is ready to release the ball, Valme's already he's folded his legs. He's sitting in the end zone with his hands up and no defender near him. That was an interesting one.
But
Another
is that a sign of
observation.
disrespect,
Plays in a
though,
row.
from Valme towards Tom Gatehouse?
Look, I think
Yes.
it comes. It's the sort of risk, not risk reward, but like it. Edward Valme is Marilyn Monroe for
yeah, but it comes with the
Hot Boys
char-
Hotline.
yeah.
If you can't take him at his handle him at his worst, you don't get him at his best, right?
Yeah,
Like it comes with the package.
It's sort of what you get.
Noteworthy that Malcolm Archer also didn't play in this game, and having Archer rushing Gab Wiseman is a totally different game.
Also, Braden Streeter wasn't playing.
Correct.
Also, but that, like, as much as Bryden's is a very talented player, I mean, he would have popped his shoulder 17 times. So that's a bit.
Poor guy, man. This guy on his shoulder,
He
man.
needs
Oof.
to. It's,
Also, Ghosts had 3 interceptions.
yeah.
And they've
Yeah,
been,
yeah.
you know what?
That's the one. That's the
And
thing.
you know what? Ghost as
That
a
was
team this
fun.
year, as a ball hawking squad, they have been very efficient, though. They have come up with some big plays.
But they have some big players. Secondary, they have Alexis Gaumont, they have Gab Wiseman, they have Zach Zorn. That's all. All of them are Div 3
But
players.
I really believe, guys, that people look at the Ghosts and they underestimate their value of what they are. When hurricane season played them, pardon me.
Yep.
I think they just came in like, we're going to roll these guys. And Gab Wiseman in that game in Brossard did a phenomenal run. He ran for 5 yards, and he did the classic fake pump in the air, and 2 guys jumped up in the air, and he ran for another 10 more yards. And they're like, guys, he can't throw. He's past the line of scrimmage here. And
But see, I try that all the time. It never works. Nobody ever jumps.
To be fair, you pump fake, but then you don't really move afterwards.
Well, I do, but just much slow.
So, but
You got to sell it.
So the guy jumps, but by the time he lands, you're still in front of him.
Yeah.
So
No, but I don't know. To be
that's
honest,
also why I don't pump fake.
to be honest, it's the best Ghost team I've seen in a while
Yeah,
for the division they're playing in.
it's a very strong team, but the what we've been talking about earlier. The thing about Gab Wiseman is he doesn't look the part, but
he plays the part,
But he's
though.
the best player on the field. So when you're playing against him and you're a football player, you look at him, it's like, okay, this guy can cover me.
Yeah.
And then he gets a ridiculous interception,
Mhm.
and you look stupid.
He doesn't pass the eye test,
Yeah.
and then he makes you pay for it.
No.
Same as Zach Zorn. Like Zach Zorn looks a little bit more athletic than Gab Wiseman, but Zach not just like with the strength of his cat, he runs impeccable routes.
Yep.
He's the number one target for Wiseman in that offense. We know.
Can you blame him?
I don't blame him, right? But can they develop a solid number 2?
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Alexi Gomo.
Yeah.
Right?
And Louis Beijing, by the way, is also on the team.
No,
I
not
think
full-time.
he's
He's
sub.
not
Okay,
full-time.
'cause
He's
actually
a cameo.
like he's here this game, and I saw him play earlier in the season, and he was there as well.
Yeah, he's just subbing for when guys are missing. But even like the other pieces, they're all pretty good. Like the team is really well built.
yeah.
A game that I saw.
Look, Jean-Sebastien Roussy snaps for me in Division 6. It's a consistent snap. He's got fairly solid hands. Like there's no weak spot on the team. To your point,
A game that I saw, Mud Dogs, Los Avocados. Do you know who was throwing the football for Los Avocados this week?
You?
No. I was watching the
That'd
game.
be great.
Mike Mendel.
Oh shit!
Long time no see.
That's a long time no see.
How did he look?
And what
Okay.
happened?
His first 4 passes,
Yep.
2 are INTs. 1 TD, 5 INTs. 13 for 27.
When's the last time you played? Like,
Yeah, but he has
I think,
2014?
I think the last time he played was for Checkmate, by the way.
I mean, like
Like,
2014.
we brought him back a couple years ago.
He
to-
hasn't changed, though.
Also, they're probably going to forfeit this game because they're over cap.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Seriously,
but
I
they
just
lost
checked.
anyways. Yeah, but it
Lost
doesn't
anyway.
matter. They lost. So.
Oh, they just
Yeah.
to be also.
Yeah, just to be played.
Yeah.
And he rocked one of the guys from Mud Dogs. But good win for Mud Dogs. Jete had a good game. 4 TDs, 2
Well,
INTs.
it was about to happen at some point.
But
They're a really
their
good
defense
team.
played well, albeit though David Leberes was the benefactor of Mike Medell throwing him a little pitch and catch in that matchup here. But I just thought, Los Avocados missing a boatload of their guys, and we saw they're going to be over the cap for what the penalty cost would be. But for the Mud Dogs, and speaking to their team beforehand, they said, "Hey Mo, I know you guys kind of wrote us off in the first 3 weeks of the year, which we did. We thought they were kind of spinning, in what they were, but in the last 3-4 weeks, last month of play, they have been definitely what we thought they should have been
Yeah.
when they were last
Mud
year."
Dogs.
I'm a little bit more than a little confused. Like I'm guessing it was Nick Bello who brought PL Beauregard, but if you have PL Beauregard, why was he not quarterback?
Can he
Even
throw?
after interception 1, even after interception
Is
2.
it cap purposes at that point?
Can he
I don't
throw in
think
the
so. I
division?
think he has a 60
Yeah,
rating.
because that mattered.
Yeah.
Because they also had Jesse Zubri.
Yeah.
Because also Jesse was there. Another interesting game was the Warriors actually.
I was
getting a
going to
win.
bring that one up, actually. See.
But
Oh.
they kind of catch a break because Sébastien Thibault wasn't playing for Grandianel, which is their best quarterback and their quarterback and their best DB. So you kind of get like
He can still be their best quarterback.
yes, also. But you kind of get Warriors catch a break there with the whole guy missing. They get like a easier win if you want to put it that way. So Sébastien Thibault who's only missing 1 week, so he'll be back next week.
Yeah, and
Thank you, Eagle. But
Because they play lockdown.
speaking of lockdown, they suck.
And Pat,
Moving
well,
on.
we'll get to that one in a second. too,
Moving
but
on.
Pat Lindor, big game, 2 touchdowns and an interception. So I don't even think Mo Khan can have something negative to say about Pat Lindor.
No, I can't. But Pat, he always has that one positive game. The game that I saw was
We talked about Pat Lindor earlier. He's like, yeah, no, he's not my boy.
retired All Stars winning 19-13 over GLC. I'm a bit surprised by GLC. They
What do
didn't
you
come
mean?
to play. They were. It felt like they just never were
Are
in
you
rhythm.
surprised about that, or
I
is
am.
that what
I-
they've been for a long time?
No, but I thought GLC is a tougher route than what they were. Jaime Luong did not look like he was ready to play. He started off the game, I believe, scorekeeper of the game. He was, I think, 3 for 10 at one point.
That's not very him.
So they sent me a message today.
Who?
This dude's from Green Lantern Corps.
Yes.
They Max, Kevin, Jocelyn. He asked if we can actually talk about maybe like next week or whatever, like right before playoffs, talk about like teams and strength of schedule because they feel like they've had sort of like the toughest road.
Well, let's take a look at the schedule
so
here.
we can address theirs, but maybe we can do this on like a grand level next week.
A grand
Well,
level?
let's see here.
Yeah.
Specifically for GLC, they had Wrecking Crew week 1, Tip
Loyola
Top
Warriors,
Shape,
a real.
Team YS, The Process, Loyola Warriors, Fun Boys, Retired All Stars, and after that they
Super
have gone
Saiyan.
3 and 4. Their remaining games are Super Saiyan, Takeover, and Moss City.
Okay, so last 3 games are tough.
I mean,
last
this,
4
the whole
even.
schedule hasn't been easy.
No, but I mean, there's not.
But
It's not like a.
but that
murder's
division-
row. I remember
It's
it was.
not Murder's Row here.
I remember once seeing who was the team with Brian Martin? Was it
Maximum
Longhorns?
Carnage?
Longhorns.
Longhorns? Was it?
Oh,
was it-
Brian Martin. Sorry,
Brian
yes,
Martin.
There was
Longhorns.
also Warhawks.
Or Warhawk, it was Warhawk, exactly. And it was a season where they had gone 0-10, but they had faced like the 10-0 Checkmate, the 9-1 Moose, the 9-1 Doug McKernan team. Like they had like every team they played had a combined like
120 record.
something like I think,
might
I think
also
the
have
10
been-
teams they played
That
had a
was-
combined 12 losses.
that might- what
Something
Eagles-
stupid. Like it was. I'd never seen a schedule I had before.
That it might have also been after the season that they made the championship finals too. So come next
Yeah.
year when we build the schedule, we're like, well, let's put them.
Well, and so and most recently, the GLC made the spring finals.
exactly.
So they likely were put in as a top 2
Yeah.
team for the division,
Yeah.
and that's why they got a tough schedule. I don't think it's a murderer's row though. I think there's just 2 or 3 games where it's either an even matchup or they're the favorite, like clear favorite.
Other games that caught your attention this week, gentlemen? Anyone
Eagles,
else?
the hell, you guys lost to Mavericks. What's happening to lockdown?
It was amazing. I was there. It was good times.
Lost by 2.
the hell.
game actually.
Okay. Any other insight to the game or?
I mean, listen, we brought in new guys. We have people who haven't played football before, literally, and it's a
Literally?
learning curve.
Do you regret leaving Hot Boys Hotline now?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Interesting.
It was fun seeing Pat Riot play like deep safety though. That was interesting.
Hey, he didn't play bad.
No, he
Oh,
played
the
great.
idiot 4th down makes an interception. I'm like, no, pat it down.
Pat it down. There you
Pat
go.
it down, Patty.
Clever.
Husky looked good, but he actually had a less efficient game than Pat Riot.
He made some. He was good early on. He made some dumb mistakes that even himself would admit he made some dumb mistakes that could have cost him the game.
Mm-hmm.
But lockdown is just so bad that it didn't matter.
Ironically, at one point, Antoine Martineau made a play on the ball on a slant in, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Corey missed his receiver by throwing it behind him. And because Martineau was playing the ball where it should have been, the receiver actually made a catch and ran for a touchdown.
That's the
Kind of
most
amazing.
lockdown thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Any other games that caught your attention, gentlemen, from this past week?
Preachers, man. Scorecard, the Preachers game. They're a strong team. The only worry I have for Preachers is there's a few guys that can't seem to tackle anything. And when they come into playoffs, if these guys get picked on, they're going to be scored on. Like they played Buffalo Wild Wings this week.
Yeah.
It was 21-0 at halftime for Preachers after safety. And it looked like everything Preachers did offensively worked. In the second half, Nick Saho had about 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half, had 1 target in the second half. They just decided to do different things. Like, you're up by 3 scores, it doesn't matter. They're feeding the ball to the other guys, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yes,
So you
you
don't
will.
even need your number 1 guy. But defensively, they allowed 18 points in like 10 minutes by Buffalo Wild Wings because their defense was just terrible.
They did the exact same thing against lockdown when we were only 5 players because the guy got stuck in traffic or whatever it was. They put up like 4 scores against us. I'm like, we're 5 guys. You can exploit anything, and I guess they were just having fun with it. You know, same thing here. You
Yeah.
get a big lead, and then you just.
But that's fine. Like, they still won and it doesn't matter. That's not the point.
Yeah, but that can hurt you in an
But-
actual game, right?
But what worries me a little bit is this team could be very good, could potentially be one of the top teams in the division, but defensively, there's a lot of flaws that needs to be fixed before the playoffs.
I'm talking about a team that's looking very good. Sturdom against Spartans.
I like Sturdom.
Hammering them in 5B, 50-33.
50.
Sydney Trauma-Lacombe had a pretty solid game. 220 yards, 6 TDs. James Dandria, typical James Dandria, 5 TDs, 3 INTs.
It's not typical James Hendry.
But
It's
you
not typical.
but
But explain
That means
to me,
he throws
Mokan,
30 interceptions a season.
explain to me, Mokan, how this performance is typical in your mind. Like, why do you
look at the
use that
completions.
word?
Look at the completions.
Okay, go on.
He's either boom or bust type of quarterback.
And this is the bust kind of boom.
Yeah. Look,
Okay, I'm going to do the actual journalist thing and do some research. Go ahead, continue.
but you see,
You had to say
watching the Sturdam play though, and it was my first time seeing these guys play. They are athletic.
who Sturdam?
Sturdam, yeah.
Oh,
They
they're
are
good, man.
Are they
athletic.
Sturdam or Sturdam? I've been
Sturdam.
calling
Oh,
it
that's-
Sturdam all season.
That's
Well,
Sturdam,
it's probably
no.
like just without the pig part.
Sorry?
Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sturdam, right?
Sturdam.
Amsterdam.
So without the pig part.
Yeah.
See what
It's
I
not
did there?
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
You think the country is called Amsterdam?
Amsterdam.
Tell me you don't think it's called
He does
Amsterdam.
hamster all this
Well,
time?
It's no, but it's also very close.
Of what?
Jesus.
It's also close to Amsterdam and Amsterdam.
Oh, that would be great, Amsterdam.
Okay, so Sturdam or Sturdam.
I think it's Sturdam.
I thought Sturdam.
But
they're
again,
fun. They're fun. They're athletic.
Yeah, I like
they're,
them, man.
They're good group of guys.
It was.
man.
I think they were overlooked early in the season. People didn't really know them, and it takes us some time to notice teams that we don't know before. It sucks, but it is what it is. If I don't see your first few games and I don't know anybody on the team, I can't really give you praises. And from what I've seen from Amsterdam, it's pretty good, man. I like what I see. It's a good team. They're having fun, which is the most important thing, and they're playing well, and they're playing better than early in the season, and they have a good shot at having a good playoff run.
So I think I know what Mokan means about it. I mean, it's saying it's a typical game for someone who's boom or bust.
Oh, James Andrea?
Yeah, like that sentence means nothing because you're saying what's typical about his atypical performances. So
Well, the typical part is that he's never average. He's always good or bad.
in games where he's thrown interceptions, he has always thrown 3 interceptions.
Wow.
Every other game, he has thrown 0 interceptions.
So boom or bust.
In a sense. So I think that's an apt,
But that's
and
kinda what
Mokan
he's-
did say that. So that is apt.
But also pass completions, right? Look at the
Well, I disagree because he's had 4 games now. He's had 3 games at 11. This is the lowest amount of completions he had in a game. It's 10. His completion percentage is a little lower than I'd like it to be, but it's also somewhat due to his style too, right? He's a quarterback
Yeah.
that takes shots and.
So basically, what you're saying is, for the first time in this show's history, Mokan said something that made sense.
I mean, it's just,
when you throw interceptions, yes.
I mean, yes, I agree with the boom and bust thing. It's just again to say it's typical. It's bizarre because like saying, I never know what I'm going to get out of you, but it's always the same thing. That's literally what that sentence means.
But it worked. Everybody got it.
No,
you just
I didn't get it.
You did now.
I do now. I by looking at the stats, it's like, all right. Now that I've done the research, I can kind of see.
I'll ask you this question, gentlemen. Receiver of the year, Nick Sarro, is he your receiver of the year, or is Brandon Elwood or Alex Bacalani?
This is a great time for me to plug this in. Nice research, Mokan. He has an extra game on top of everybody else and lesser stats. Moving on.
But is he your receiver of the year, though?
No, he's not.
But
He
once
has
it's
less
set-
yards, less touchdowns, and one more game.
Yeah, but once it's all said and done, though, he can put up some numbers.
I mean, he can. He could.
You can't. You could go for 400 yards the next 2 games, but anybody could. He has less stats than both Brandon Elwood and Alex
Brian Fuchs.
Bacalani.
Well, and Brian Fuchs
Yes.
as well.
Also, and one more game, so less chance. So he has weaker odds of actually finishing with the higher stats of them all, and you're pointing him out.
So
He's
who's going to win it then?
Probably Brandon Elwood.
I like Brandon Aylward. But Brandon Aylward,
I mean,
he also has a chance to win 2-way, no?
I mean, he kind of wins it every season, so it's kind of boring.
It's going to become the Brandon Aylward Award.
Yeah.
Any chance Zach Zerwin comes in there?
No,
He's now
No,
in
'cause
the
they
eighth
don't-
hole.
he doesn't get fed the same way that these guys do. Like,
So nutrition's the issue.
yeah, he doesn't need enough spaghetti. But
Mhm.
like Nick Saho in the first half, when the game's on the line, you know the ball's going to Nick Saho, and he's the number 1 guy, and he's getting 70% of the targets. Zach Zorn doesn't get those targets. Like,
But
Gab
also-
Weissman's system spreads the ball too much for him to put up crazy numbers.
And in the red zone, Gab Wiseman tends to go to Alexi Gaumont, who on that team has more touchdowns.
Well, he's
than Zach
also like
Zorn.
the bigger dude.
Yes.
So it's like but that's what I'm saying. He spreads the ball more, which makes it less probable for a guy to put up crazy numbers, although the productivity is the same.
Fair. Look, there's a chance. I don't think Nick Sato's completely out of the race. The yardage is impressive.
Well, he's not out of the race, but he's also not the front runner.
I mean, he's among the front runners, though.
But he has one more game than everybody else.
Yeah, but
That means the other guys are gonna have. If you
But if one of them has like a 0 touchdown game, he's still second.
yes,
or third.
but if you average them all out, saying what they have done over the past 7 weeks, you use that as a sample size, then no, he's kind of far.
What if they had actually fed him the ball in that last game instead of distributing it to everyone else?
Who?
Thado.
He had 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You can give him more than that.
Well, that was what he told me after the game. He's like, I'm fed up. I'm not being targeted. You have 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. What else do you want?
I kind of hope that my favorite Brazilian wide receiver, Alexandre Bacalani, wins it.
You won one a few
Couple years
recently.
ago.
Yeah.
They got a lot of swag on that team.
On Finessers?
Finesses, or as Simon would say,
Finessers.
finessers.
Cool. Yes, make note of the fact that English is not my first language.
English.
I would love to make this into a French podcast. It would be amazing.
Yeah. I
Eh?
still speak English.
There you go. Have you ever heard Mokan speak French recently?
No, I haven't.
There you go.
In 5A, we look at the...
We have a write-in. Sorry
Yes, go for
to
it,
interrupt.
Jim.
If Peeze doesn't roll up his rim, Sean Avram will go through the garbage to get it, says Terry Tam.
You will.
I will roll it. I promise. I just don't want to do it on camera because I'll look disgusting.
You'll look.
I'm trying to.
You'll look like Mokan in
Are
the
you an
six.
animal? Do you use your teeth? Like
Yeah,
you
I use
have
my teeth.
thumb,
Eagle
you have
teeth.
opposable thumbs.
But they're so
I
fat.
don't get how
Dude.
people can't roll up a rim
Guy,
with
they're
their
so fat. Look at
fucking
these.
thumbs.
Look at these.
Wow. The F word.
Who
just like
won?
that.
I won
Whoa.
a latte. What are you doing, Simon?
So now we
I
know.
won the right to play again.
So now we know.
So
GM's
you want
pet
hope?
peeve.
That's the best prize of all.
No, I like cars.
This is not working.
All right, here we
so,
go.
So,
We're going to watch
so GM's pet
PZ.
peeve is rolling things with your mouth.
It's terrible. You can continue your show.
I was waiting for you to roll it up so we
It's
can
gonna take
see.
a while.
Okay, fair enough. All
Okay.
right, looking at the divisions right now, gentlemen.
Fold the cup in half. It's easier.
It's ridiculous.
Here we
Please play
go.
again.
Okay, please play again. Very well then.
Please lose again.
Got this one though.
You
All right,
didn't even roll it right.
In
You don't
conference
even
A.
see the words.
Yeah, you
Terry,
see it.
thank you for an extra 3 minutes of content on this show.
You're welcome,
Content.
Terry.
Yes, content.
Hot Boys Hotline, Smoking Axolots, 6 wins apiece. Half a Stars, 5 wins. 10 guys, 1 cup,
Yay.
4 wins. You look at that division in East compared to Conference B West, where you have Longhorns at 6-1, Go 6-1, Finessers 5-2, Texas Bearmans 4-2-1, along with Hurricane Season. What is the better division with these two?
By far the Conference B.
Yeah.
By far, because look, no one truly believes in Hot Boys Hotline. Smoke and Axles are not without their
I
flaws.
believe in Hot Boys Hotline.
Psh, you're wrong. Look, no, but the thing is, they're gonna have matchups they struggle with.
Hot
and
Boys Hotline?
This past weekend was an example of that. And the same with Smoke and Axel. They're matchup dependent, and they're gonna do fine in the regular season because you're only gonna face 2 or 3 really tough teams with a division this big. So fine, awesome. You did a good job against the teams you're supposed to beat.
All right, so let's say
What happens in the playoffs?
So let's say Hot Boys Hotlines and the Lizards were in the West Division with Ghost, Longhorns, Finessers, Bearmans, Hurricane Season. Would they be at the bottom, middle, or top of the pack?
Well, who are you removing
Up
though?
in-
From the
Well,
division?
taking away Weasels and Falcons and Voodoo from that equation.
Well, yeah, because then that's a much tougher division.
Yeah, but then
But
then
would they be as successful as
No.
they are now?
They'd be
It's-
no, but
500
the other
team.
teams would
of
also
those
be
4
Yes, yeah.
teams as well, is that I find it interesting that in Conference A, like we're saying that Conference A is the weaker. Like if you look at the 4 teams without their records, like the top 4 in Conference A East, I would say that like 10 guys, 1 cup of those 4 is the strongest team, and yet they have the weakest record.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't. It's not even having to play the teams within this. I think they've faced off against more Conference B teams than the rest of the teams in Conference
And-
A East.
And look, Mud Dogs, I think, are finally playing like we said earlier in the show
They're finally playing
To their-
to
to
Simo's
their-
to
expectations.
see most expectations.
very high.
And
No,
like,
but Conference B
again,
are
like
also
so,
competing.
if you're Hot Boys Hotline, for example, and you have to play Warriors first week, do you like that in the playoffs? Probably not. You know, if you got to play, let's say you drop down a bit, you got to
I'd-
play Mud Dogs first round.
I would if I were Hot Boys Hotline, I would rather play Warriors than Mud
I understand,
Dogs.
but neither of them are guaranteed wins, right? Neither of
Yeah,
them
but-
are like cross it off, check mark, guaranteed win.
Yeah, it's not
Moving
like
on.
It's not like you're playing Voodoo. You know.
Yeah, so I'm saying you're not. It's
Yeah, but Voodoo, like no one, like
You're
Voodoo.
such a hater.
he's just
'Cause they're
he's a
0-7.
hateful person.
Yeah, but they gave.
Oh, 6 and
know,
1, sorry.
But they
I'm
gave-
defending them as a fellow 0-17.
No, but they almost pulled the upset yesterday with Dan Lazara's.
Yeah.
They almost beat them
Yeah,
on the last
almost.
drive. You know, and
But that's been their season. That's been their MO all season.
this-
Almost.
It's a slogan, right? Like almost is good.
Yeah, almost.
But
But
But it's-
meanwhile,
yeah.
if you look at Conference B, guys, like Hurricane season, Texas Bearmans at 6 and 7, Finessers at 5, Ghosts at 4. Like that's a strong
Yeah, but let's not forget that, yes, but it's also a bit overflated.
overflated.
Yeah, overflated. Because they're also playing the teams that have no wins.
Okay, so maybe the bottom end of
No,
this
the
division-
top end
Yeah,
has
but
like
the
an
top
extra
end-
win or two.
The top end's
That's the way
richer
I
than
see
the
it.
bottom part of the division.
Yeah, because
or
they
conference.
all play Weasels and Falcons, and so they all get in a free win.
Okay, but I mean, like
But
in
Falcons,
Conference A, there's still the Mavericks, there's still the Goats,
I mean, Mavericks
Rednecks. I
destroyed
don't know why they
Lockdown.
don't win games.
Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, okay.
I don't understand.
But I mean, like Mavericks are not bad. They beat Lockdown.
Okay,
So,
congratulations.
so looking at the 8th spot in
Ayo.
Conference B right now with LFF right now, they are at the 8th spot with 5 points. Pigeon Squad at 9, Brothers at 10. Who gets in?
Pigeon Squad.
Pigeon
Yes.
Squad. You
yeah,
pick
Pigeon Squad. It's going to be decided. The winner of Week 10, Les Flamands Fous plays against Pigeon Squad. So whoever wins that game should make it in, because I see both teams losing the rest of the
And
schedule.
Pigeon Squad play Brothers this
No,
week.
I
So
see Pigeon Squad have a chance against Lockdown, and the game against Brothers they could win as well.
So is that is
And
that
Brothers are
so
one of
I
those
have it
teams
the
in
other way
contention
around.
as well.
right? So is this
Uh,
is this an elimination game then with Brothers and Pigeon Squad this weekend? Whoever
Yes.
loses is all but done.
no, because they still
No.
play Flamand Fou the weekend the
But-
week after.
But someone has the tiebreaker, right? If Squad or Brothers
Yeah, that's
win.
that's what I'm saying. The Flamand Fou Pigeon Squad game in the Week 10 is the decider. If the Flamand Fou wins,
Because
then
they'll have that head-to-head.
Yes.
What's going to be interesting here is that both Flamand Fou and Pigeon Squad have a tie. So if ever another team catches them in terms of points and everything, well, they'll
tie.
actually beat them because of that tie.
But the Flamand Fou, they have Preachers, Pigeon Squad, and Weasels and Falcons.
So
I mean, it's not a particularly difficult schedule either. But I give the edge to Pigeon Squad. Pigeon Squad could lose the game against Flamand Fou and theoretically still make the playoffs.
Theoretically.
But it would take Flamand Fou losing to Weasels
Yeah,
and
but
Falcons,
like
who haven't won yet.
but also most likely that Week 10 game will decide which of the two makes the playoffs.
Yeah, that's fair.
but the bottom line is this weekend's Brothers game will be a stepping stone towards the playoffs.
Yeah, a stepping stone. I agree.
Looking at the first 4 in, first 4 out in Conference A, Mud Dogs 10 guys, Buffalo Wild Wings, Warriors in spots right now. Dope Boys 9, Bobby's Boys 10, Rednecks 11, and we'll put even less Albatross at 12, and maybe the Mavericks want to include them in there. The 4 teams, as we mentioned, Dogs 10 guys, Buffalo Wild Wings, Warriors. Which of the teams are most likely to drop out?
To drop out,
Yeah, drop out.
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah.
What about the Warriors though?
No,
Warriors-
I was going to that.
Yes.
Warriors also. I'm not a fan of what they've done this season. It's
Yeah, I don't understand why they're not winning more.
They should be better, but
But
they're not.
Buffalo Wild Wings' schedule is Greendale Human Beings, Mud Dogs, Warriors.
And I've also not been very impressed with Buffalo Wild Wings recently.
But I'm saying like they have a tough schedule,
Yeah.
and then they have a potential play-in game against Warriors last
if
week.
they get there,
Yeah,
the way the schedule has been, like, there's a chance that Dope Boys, not Drop Boys. What is the script? And Bobby's Boys actually move up before that playing game, and the playing game is not a playing game anymore.
yeah. And Dope Boys might be Drop Boys. They have half a stars in Les Albatross after they play Bobby's Boys.
Like it'll be an interesting finish, but I don't know, man. I don't see it happening. I think Dope Boys has a chance to kind of get a leg up on some of these teams.
In 5B,
Yes.
I'll ask you this question: the best in 5B, the best 5-win team is who? You have the Process, Retired All Stars, and Fun Boys. Out of these 3 teams, who is the best 5-win team?
You know mine.
Process.
What's yours?
Process.
Yeah, Process. Their offense is amazing. Their defense is pretty good.
The straight athleticism
Oh, yeah.
for this division is good.
I really like, but the Process, their offense is, to me, it's really like the
Yeah.
flat out impressive. They've put up like 200 something points so far this season. It's like 30 a week.
So
Yes,
would you
Eagle.
say you trust the process?
Yes,
I hate
100%.
you so much.
Complete the
I
process.
hate you so much.
Complete the process. Get LeBron to Philly.
So, I saw that 207 points. Yeah, 207 points in 7 games.
That's good, man.
That's
That's very good
excellent.
numbers.
That's almost as many points
But-
as Wrecking Crew.
But look at
who are the top team in the
yeah,
division.
but look at
in the
retired
conference.
All Star next to them. They have the same points against, but the points for are very far apart.
Yeah, and same with Fun Boys.
What about right now when you see, like, in the overall context of what we have right now with those 3 teams?
Yep.
Do you not trust the Fun Boys, given their history of experience?
I've been saying it since week 1.
It's true. You've never been a fan of
I'm
the Fun
not
Boys.
a fan. It's
You call them the no fun boys.
yeah, funless boys, sad boys.
Yeah, you never said funless boys.
I'm saying it now, funless boys.
They could be the F and B, no fun boys,
Yeah.
and FB.
yes. That's the one.
I just said
Like
that
DNA,
is-
the National Dyslexic Association.
Yes, apparently I don't know what that is.
Anyway,
That's a really bad transition there, boys. Here,
You're the host.
I
By
am,
the
but-
way. It's
all your
but
fault.
I'm just looking at Simon. I'm like, man, Simon's really salted this whole segment right now.
by the way, Fun Boys' remaining schedule is the Process Moss City and Takeover.
Which is a good test for them, right? They-
Bye.
Yes, we'll go with test.
Okay, so how many
That's
wins then?
tough, man.
Will they win at least one?
No,
Yes,
no.
they'll win one.
Which one?
But they'll surprise somebody.
Which one? Pick one.
Moss City. Boom.
Guaranteed.
Said it here.
Make that game of the week. He's gonna choose the opposite. He has no he takes no inventory of the things he says.
It's in 2 weeks. I don't even remember what I did yesterday. That's true. Score kept.
Oh no, you were booking flights that were for the wrong dates.
Volkan, why do you have to be that guy? You remember that time you lost your phone at Ibaya?
Yes,
and you
I
freaked
did.
out for 10
Of
minutes
course,
because
man.
contacts cannot be uploaded to the cloud for some reason.
Yeah, man.
Well,
It
yeah,
was bad.
Blackberries don't have that capability.
I was just gonna make the exact same
Yeah.
joke.
Or do you want us to talk about street cred, Mokan?
No, we can talk about street cred if you
Okay.
want.
Oh, you want
looking at
to? Okay.
looking at Conference A West, you have there's Sturdam, Moss City, Mogadishu Pirates, Spartans.
Yes.
Right now, 2 points separates first from fifth. There's going to be a lot of juggling going on with these 5 teams right now, gentlemen. And who do you give the edge to in this division?
Pirates. Still a fan.
Yeah, I like them.
I mean,
Even-
I'm still a fan of
Really,
Afro,
for
but-
Mogadishu Pirates.
Yes, that's what I said. Pirates.
Even though they struggled this past week.
Cool. It happens.
To
Nobody's
be honest,
perfect.
They lost
I'm
to
not.
Moss City, though, 26-20.
Cool. Close game.
If Nicky Papic is playoff eligible, he has 3 games played right now, and there's 3 remaining games. Mogadishu Pirates are a totally different.
I heard Nicky Papic is as good as Sasha. I heard that somewhere. I read that somewhere. I don't think it's true.
If you ask Sasha, Sasha will tell you that Nicky is better.
He said that on the Facebook wall.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
he doesn't have the experience that Sasha has in FBF.
Yet.
It's yes, but it's different. Like you need to kind of understand the game. Anyways, not the point.
I mean, look, we know that the Mogadishu Pirates will finish at least 500 because they
very
play Browns de Boucherville in the second last game.
Who are eliminated officially. Now.
Yes.
Officially done.
What's the record, Mokan?
Now 0-24 with the Cleveland Browns combined.
What did I ask?
I was about to say you set him up for that, and
And
then
they get
we're
mad
upset
at
at the
you.
But look
answer
how
you
proud
got.
he is of himself.
I got him
Look how
good.
happy he is.
He's happy he can do the math that quick.
Hey.
I'm happy when I make Mokan happy, and then I can bash him for it.
But when you
Good
see,
times.
you're picking Mogadishu Pirates.
Yes.
But are you picking them to win the division?
Please clarify when you say the division
As in West.
for those who weren't listening to the previous
The-
podcast.
I will go with
West Division.
they'll finish second,
Yeah,
But
because they won't catch after.
but they'll have the better playoff run. How about that?
So you said
Okay.
the Zephyr will be early round exit.
Or a very nice conference finals between Pirates and Afghur. How about that? I should finish all my sentence with how about that?
no, stop that.
Oh, you're
That's, you can't use a question as punctuation.
How about that?
Team Sparty, any chance of
Um,
them moving up?
I don't think Afre will close out that
Season?
division. I'm looking at their
Oh, yeah?
end schedule, and the last 3 games are all difficult. They're playing Le Speakeasy. They're playing Blue Team with a new quarterback who's been lighting it up,
Yep.
and Team YS, who are a lot better than their record indicates.
But it's possible.
I think that these are all matchups that may not go well for Afre based
But they,
on
they
like,
essentially need to win one game to
Yeah.
lock it up.
so is
to
it
lock up a
Le
playoff
Speakeasy?
spot.
Because I don't think it's the other 2.
I don't know. I can't.
It's Speakeasy or Team YS because Team YS's defense and Afro will make a couple of stops. So
They have a very good rusher,
yeah,
which you love.
I do. He's amazing.
I keep
Sturdam.
using it.
Any chance of them maybe jumping up into the one spot?
They don't need the one spot.
I
They
think
won't
honestly
jump
with
in.
these big divisions, the one spot doesn't matter. There's no
No.
bias. There's no.
They'll be fine. They'll be a. They should look forward to the playoffs rather than winning the division.
But
I think you're the only person that talks about winning divisions.
Well,
You don't get a banner.
Well, no, we think about it though, right? You get that top 2 spot, and perhaps you avoid the stake of teams that.
But again, there's a chance that you play a less favorable matchup by being the number 2
Yeah,
seed.
because like Mogadishu Pirates and Moss City are not top seeds, and Punishers are not top seeds, and none of those matchups are fun.
If you play,
would you not rather want to play the Ducks or Haters are going to hate in the 8th?
but haters are not in the playoffs at the moment.
But they could be in the playoffs though.
Yes,
They are
in that case, I agree with you. But if they're not, who's the number 8 seed at the moment?
Ducks.
Who's the 7th?
I don't know who you're talking about, Mo, because there's no team in this division named Haters Gonna Hate. There's a team in this division named Haters.
No, I believe
Gonna
they're,
Hate.
they're haters ZZZ gonna hate.
Or ZZZZZZ.
Who's your? Sorry, Eagle.
But
Spartans
unless you're
are
getting a
7.
bye for having won the division, it's basically useless, right? Home field advantage, as great as it is, where you get to choose what you want to do,
It's a coin
not.
toss.
that's it. Like, it doesn't
So
give you anything.
who's
you know?
the 7th seed in this?
Right now
conference?
you have.
I don't think either.
Who's the 7th seed in this conference? Yeah, sorry, Peeze.
Sorry, please go ahead.
I don't think
That's-
Look
either.
what he's doing.
I don't think the
He's
top
afraid.
4 teams across the conferences are the best 4 teams in either the
Thank you.
conferences.
So
So,
who are
like
the best
Takeover and
4
Lafayette are good teams, but I don't know if they're remarkably better than Punishers,
Okay,
Moss
so-
City, Mogadishu Pirates. Same for Wrecking Crew and Falcons, very good. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're better than the Process or Retired All Stars.
I'm not buying retired All Stars though. I still don't buy this
Okay.
team. They have the lowest scoring output among the.
But one of the
playoff
best
teams.
defenses.
They
Yeah, like a
have
defense
athletes.
as good as the Process,
But
they
Mo
have
Molcon
athletes,
likes
though.
to say that defense wins championships.
even though it's not true.
So
No, their
'Cause
defense
he's
is
a
good,
rusher.
but I don't. Do you trust Jean Marie as the quarterback now when you go up against a blue blood type of quarterback in the playoffs?
the thing about the playoffs is, like you said, teams don't put up 40 points. So I could see a little bit of stress making their way. An extra interception could give your quarterback an extra shot. Yeah, I'm not a fan of defense wins championships mentality, but if you get an extra interception in the game and you give your quarterback one more possession, the odds of him scoring are greater.
Okay, so in a one-off, GM, I'll ask you this question: would you take the retired All Stars to beat Wrecking Crew or Falcons?
Okay, go ahead, Jim. You answer the question
I'm
first.
thinking, I don't know, man. Like, as an upset?
If this weekend was round 1 or round 2 of the playoffs, and you gotta pick the Wrecking Crew or Falcons, whoever, say Wrecking Crew against retired All Stars, would you pick the All Stars to beat Wrecking Crew?
I would not.
But
Is that guaranteed?
Okay, but let's say the playoffs were today.
Yeah.
Falcons would face TDs and Beer. I'm picking TDs and Beer in that game.
Yep, I would too.
By like 2 scores.
No,
Really?
Not.
Yep.
It's a close game,
I don't
but
think
I
it's
think.
close.
Okay.
I don't think it's close.
Okay,
I
what's
think
the other
Falcons are a bit of a paper.
What's the other matchup?
champion.
Wrecking Crew against?
No, I don't. It's
Sorry?
just that it's a little bit more not one dimensional, but like what works for them. When it works swimmingly.
Well, against you guys, they gave you a good run for your money, but you guys pull off the upset though.
And us guys being.
Super Science.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So-
Jem, for making it clear.
Jim-
Mo-
By the way,
GM.
your team name is the first team name in FPF that has truly made me feel old.
Super Saiyan.
I had to look up the reference and still not
So,
get it.
You didn't know what Super Saiyan was?
No,
Where you been for 25 years?
how
An adult.
Thankfully, none of their ratings are over 9,000.
how I feel
away.
old on this team is that there are kids on this team who were born after 9/11 happened. That's like, yeah, there you go. That's my benchmark right there.
Well, anybody that's born in 2000 makes me feel old.
I've been to the towers, man. Like,
Yes, me too.
Jesus.
I still remember the Simpsons episode where Homer has to pee and he has to go from one tower to the other.
Mountain
yeah, that's
Dew.
right. Crab
Yeah, I'll
juice.
have the
Crab juice. One thing here, blue team. We've not talked much about this, guys. I know you guys have been sort of
Kinda
on
did
their
their-
wagon here. Are we going
Well, we
to?
touched upon it with GM earlier, saying they got a new quarterback. He's playing lights out.
But can they?
They're reviving their season, resurrecting.
Could this revolution lead to them being higher up in the rankings?
How far are they?
They're 4-2 in the 6th hole. They're 1 point behind the 5 wins of Process, Retire All Stars, and Fun Boys.
So, do they have a playoff seed?
They are occupying a playoff spot in the 6th spot.
Do you think that with their new quarterback, they will play not as well and lose games? So will they lose their playoff spot is my question.
I don't think they will lose their playoff spot.
So they're playing well and they'll make the playoffs.
Yes, but I'm asking, will they move up, though? Or
Do they need to move up? Does it matter if they
Why
make
not?
the playoffs?
Will not move up, though?
Simo, at least like entertain his talking points. Like at least
Yeah.
like give some
but,
credit
okay.
to this idea.
So for the past I don't know, 2 hours we've talked about playoff seeding, and I keep telling you that the seedings don't matter
it'll
because
matter
of
like once we get to
matchups.
Division 1, 2, and 3. Then it becomes an interesting argument. but
for now,
in the monster
I've
divisions,
been like 20 minutes since Peeze been saying if you're a second seed, you get a tough matchup. In Conference A, second seeds would play Spartans. That's not an easy go. Would you really want to be second seed? Like, is that enough? Like, is that favorable for you? Not really.
yeah, like after Spartans, Falcons. season
After
here,
Spartans,
like,
like, so after are cool, they're division winners, and they get probably one of the worst matchups for them. Do you really want that?
You never know. It could
Like,
happen.
you don't pick who you're playing, so matchups are not really that important. It's pure luck, really, because you don't control who you're playing against. If the first seed would decide who amongst the playoffs teams they're playing, and like they don't draw it out of a hat, they say I'm playing this team, and the second seed picks whoever's left, that would be amazing. The first
yeah,
seed
we did
would
this
mean
last week.
something.
This is last week's show.
Yeah,
You-
but then
you-
the seedings
so
would
then
mean
to,
something.
to divert
Already
this is that you
reruns.
say like you don't pick who you play against in the the relatively few, because it's a small sample size and you can't really quantify it, but in the few instances where like in week 10 where you have like a powerhouse going up against a weak team that won't make playoffs, and teams like strategically lose to get a better matchup.
Yeah.
Every time a team strategically loses to get a better matchup, they lose in the first round of the
Yes.
playoffs. So when you do have the choice to sort of choose your opponent, don't do it.
Yeah, but we've seen that plenty
What
of
if you
times,
can
and it's
choose
funny.
teams that didn't make the playoffs and bounce teams out that would be in the playoffs?
What?
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
I'm just going to answer that
Winless
question
team.
with yes.
like I'm the
Yes.
top seed. I get to choose any team. So now I picked a team that's 0-10.
Yes.
So now a team that's like the 6th seed may not make it to the playoffs.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
He's the fascist.
No, it's more.
No, but that's
it's the opposite of fascism.
that's
You should
cr-
probably take a course in university or something.
yeah, that's
It's complete freedom.
yes,
Giving the choice to the powerful.
Freedom of expression.
yes, it's. Ego clearly never took politics classes.
Seriously.
Poly 101. Does Team YS or GLC have a chance to move in now?
I see. I want GLC to make it. I just don't know who drops out.
I want Team YS to make it, but again, I don't see who drops out.
Super Science, will they drop out? I know it's
Well, they
GMC.
play both of these teams.
So you guys control your fate.
so that answers the question.
Thank you, Jen, for your
At
amazing
least
research.
I know my schedule.
how is Jordan Lard's Rageometer?
If the Rageometer only goes up, and it's like a collective between everyone who's older than the rest of them. So Jordan, myself, and John McLean. Whenever the rest of the players get penalties or ejected for the stupidest of reasons,
Like your teammate did against Falcons.
it like our teammate did in every game. But yeah,
One thing, haters. Gonna
but
hate.
to answer your question, if the Super Saiyans have the choice, which we do, we're not letting anyone else into the playoffs.
Okay, fair enough. Haters gonna hate. They have played one more game than the Black Knights, or even Dawson's Cast Finals. We'll put them in there. Are they gonna make the playoffs?
No.
No,
So we have 8 in there. Ducks are gonna be the 8th seed.
Or Black Knights.
Yeah, the only team that I could see move up is Black Knights, but they're too up and down that they would need like a.
So you don't trust them.
No, I don't. I do not. They're very talented, but there's some weeks, man. I just feel like they don't want to win. They just play down to their opponents and they don't care. And
But in this carry, Peace brought up the point last week, right? Having the playing game. Would this not be the most ideal scenario to have an 8 versus 9 playing game?
well, not in this division, but yes, I think the playing game would be amazing regardless of what.
I love the concept of playing.
Yeah, it sounds amazing.
If you play,
And you
like
have
I
to
said,
play
if
back to back.
you play it right before your playoff game. That'd be wicked.
Right before,
That'd
like
be
the
cool.
Because
hour before.
When you think about it right now, we're looking at a cutoff of maybe 4
Like the hour
wins.
before.
Yeah, like 5 o'clock is that game, and 6 o'clock you play your
Wow. So even even the team that. Oh, so the team that could show up an hour early and scout both teams and know where they're playing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, that
There's-
sounds
there's
cool.
so- There's
The
only
gauntlets.
positives.
There's a huge advantage to that.
The gauntlet of
interesting.
games, that's for sure.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Mortal Kombat lose is S word.
Sword.
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 Mortal
We'll see what happens, though.
You lost it.
4
lost
wins
the
could be
sword.
enough to get in. We'll see.
It might be actually.
Yeah, it
Four
might be.
wins could
It
be
just
enough.
might be.
Could be enough. All right, it's now time for
Games of the week.
Gamez, I believe it's pronounced.
Gamesh of the week. So, Los Avocados against Longhorns.
What is this show?
Keep it long, keep it horny. Give me Longhorns.
I agree wholeheartedly.
If Mike Mandel's playing,
Wholeheartedly.
give him the horns to win.
Solid.
Pigeon Squad against Brothers. For those of you who were paying attention earlier on, let's see what they have to say.
Pigeon Squad's winning.
I believe Pigeon Squad will win.
You're giving the squad to win, ending the brothers' hopes.
10 guys, 1 cup against Top Boys Hotline.
I'm picking GM's favorite team name to win.
Give me the 10 guys will come.
Yeah, give me 10 guys.
All right, that's a bizarre request. Put that in his writer.
Okay.
He likes 10 guys.
And in 6B, Loyola Warriors against Blue Team.
Blue
Blue team.
team.
Warriors not going to win.
Blew it up.
Blew it up.
Tip Top Shape against
Smurfy.
Balls Deep.
Smurf balls deep.
Tip
Oh,
Top
he said
Shape.
sorry.
I'll go
Yeah.
with tip top.
Oh, that's right. That's the only ear that works.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Would you say it's a tip top shape against balls deep?
Thank you.
All right, balls. Give me balls deep.
Give me tip top shape.
And Punishers against Spartans.
That's a fun game.
Punishers.
Punishers.
Yeah,
Throwing
they'll
another game
punch
into
the
here.
Spartans.
Super Saiyan's Green Lantern's Core.
Saiyans.
GLC because I want them to make the
No,
playoffs.
Saiyans.
Sorry, GM. I love you. I just want you to work the road trip.
Saiyans.
That makes sense.
His GM said it is
I need
over.
you.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
Saiyans are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll go with Dragon Ball here.
Oh man, I just realized all the plans we made don't work if we make the finals. Sabotage.
Fascism.
Yeah, it's not fascism.
That's still not what it is. But keep
Okay.
trying. You're basically Mocom with stock market. That's what
Magic
you
words, please.
are. Stock market
The reasons why Eagle and Master Control should take a class in politics.
is
Good night, Eagle. Go take a history class.
Seriously, that's the thing. Like, because
I was afraid he was gonna say something stupid. Like
because
good night,
liberals.
Germany.